football team that applies to all our managers. We fully buy into an LHS success because it doesn't work without all four classes on the same page working together. We just see your class in certain moments. Instead of celebrating personal success, we show respect and appreciation to others. Our fan base doesn't this week saw a school with a another playoff all along the we ended the show on the one. And we stopped. To be able to remind students to be in medical attention. That is their true character and the one of the rules of the playoff game. And they put others first. Our message then went on to win and advance to the final four. Seniors recognize that our students' emotional well-being is just as important as our academics. We organize an extra speed update. And in the meeting today, an email address that emphasizes the importance of demonstrating courage, gratitude, forgiveness, and compassion. We work with our clubs and organizations to be able to showcase their efforts for their classmates, engage in activities for help and track field, where our students being together by grade level to encourage autonomy and sense of quality time and engaging in healthy activities. It was an amazing happening for our entire student body, focusing on cause, all led by students. Our support our schools sustain excellence. This is a firm belief that we all want to equal part. No one can achieve their goal without the other. This is a we now need attitude that football players will fall applies to each senior class of 22. We are one piece of the puzzle. We work together and hold each other accountable. So many of these students support each other and are accepting and meet differences in learning. Some of you senior journalists have covered stories of the managed spirit that led you to the National Crown Award for Columbia Scholastic Press. Seniors in our future educators academy and Dave Ward, while those still our students celebrating the class of 2034 with a magnificent movement today. We did it in everyone freshman, showing what student needs to be among their answer. Final round focus surge and a January story of 65 in February. Donated a hair and a man-showing today today so that other women can always have a real hair with them when they're doing cancer treatment. Led by our senior cover-up agency of Spirit School Academy, hosting fantastic rallies which honor so many cancers. As the team and I continue to discuss a variety of topics, another one we fell upon was the personal team roles we need to work to fulfill. Seniors this year are leaders and role models. We have been respectful and compassionate and give inspiration when there's not. Both leadership and talent have helped our mentors to achieve their goals. 20 of these students will be extra all athletes for academic and athletic success. Some of these seniors were members of the National World Council of Excellence for Student Counseling, while others were making an incredible reflection field. Some shining their performance will be pride, while 166 of them are recognized as major stars, 56% of the entire class. That's the most in the nation. Several of these seniors signed national letters of intent to play athletics on scholarship. Multiple seniors have been selected to the all-state team for their sports, or have been selected for senior showcases for all-star games in volleyball, soccer, football, and field hockey. And one of you is the number one ranked player in the nation of tennis. We are athletic teams feature seniors like other basketball appearances, including soccer, basketball, boys lacrosse, girls softball, and boys volleyball. We also celebrate our seniors who did their teams to Division I state championships in football, boys track, 4x800 and 4x100 communities, and hopefully for our boys baseball team, we Saturday afternoon in the state title game against Lincoln County in search of another championship. Seniors shine in person, we concert on honors and have race. We see it also let the dance to Orlando to participate in all the world university parade. Individually, there were multiple senior music all-state selections, and we tried to honor society members. 2 seniors in this class were recognized as outstanding delegates from the following event, while 4 others were featured for their work in the New Hampshire High School Short Film Festival. They are all honored for film production from the University of Arizona and NYU in the New York State. Our results. I'm proud to say that 126 leaders, 43% of the graduating classes are wearing red doors, signifying the civic involvement in our school community, and that's the most important issue.
Here today, and I want to give a warm round of applause and congratulate the Monday High School Before I get to the heart of my speech, I want to speak directly to two individuals. Without them, I would not be standing here in front of you today. Mom and Dad, thank you for being the definition of the American dream, providing the best example of what perseverance, discipline, and effort can achieve. As immigrants, you entered this country with minimal savings, few friends, and a tough language barrier. Yet those obstacles did not hold you back, as you've cleared every hurdle, one after another, to provide my brother and me with every opportunity we require to succeed. Thank you for the support, sacrifice, love, and tough love. My success is your success. Next, I must show my appreciation for the administration and faculty. They're the backbone and well-oiled machine that keeps LHS running. It is not easy to manage teenagers, especially on top of a global pandemic. You all rarely receive the gratitude you deserve for your work behind the scenes. Thank you for continuing to care, even when it seemed all care was lost. Now, I'm about to break one of Mr. Gear's writing rules by beginning with someone else's words. But this quote is extremely apt, so I hope she'll forgive me. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. I had to read that line several times over while in Mrs. Shank's Honors English 9 class. It perplexed me. How could these two very opposite ideas exist at the same time? How could something be simultaneously the best and the worst, satisfying both ends of the spectrum? Well, young, naive, 9th grade Annabella was about to find out, because Dickens could not have provided a better description of the high school experience. We have all, within the 4 years of Londonderry High School, acted the best and worst versions of ourselves, succeeded greatly, failed terribly, laughed, and cried. I still remember when administration asked this class to stay back after our freshman fall pep rally. We were being rowdy, disorderly, and downright disrespectful that the assistant principals felt the need to address our behavior. Never before had such an event occurred, and it hasn't happened since. But this event is especially meaningful now because it shows our growth as individuals. After that rough introduction, I bet no member of administration would have predicted that this class would be the class to revive old traditions, like the Lancer Spirit Stick, or create entirely new ones, like Lancer Speak Up. We blossomed from immature kids to productive, creative adults. But I always knew we had that creativity, drive, and determination in us. I knew it back in elementary school when we dressed up as witches, plastic bottles, light bulbs, banana peels, bicycles, and fries to educate the grades below us about the importance of recycling and carpooling with cute jingles and jigs. I knew it in elementary school again when our grade hosted a mock wedding during recess, complete with a minister, bridesmaids, groomsmen, flowers, rings, and full attendance on the Matthew Thornton field, just for the fun of it. I knew it in middle school when 6th graders were instructed to recite a Robert Frost poem by memory, and someone successfully memorized a 60-line poem about birch trees because they enjoyed the challenge. I knew it as I witnessed members of this class win a football championship in sophomore year, and again in senior year. I knew it countless times in the classroom as my classmates blew my mind with their intelligence and articulation during presentations and discussions. And I know it now, standing here before you today. Slowly but surely, we have channeled our childish ingenuity into constructive energy that makes a positive impact. We have become a class of creators, of innovators, of trailblazers, with the opportunity to share our talents with the world. But our 4 years here were not all sunshine and rainbows. I cannot forget or ignore the hills and valleys that scattered the trail, the worst times, which a global pandemic only exacerbated. I debated about speaking this, but in the spirit of Lancers speaking up, I felt that it was appropriate and that hopefully many of you could relate in some way. But this year, of all years, I struggled immensely with my mental health. And that may come as a surprise to you, as it may not seem that way at face value. I will be the first to admit that my social media does not reflect my state of mind. In fact, my Instagram feed has never looked more aesthetic or exciting. But this year, I've truly experienced the best and worst of times, the greatest highlights and worst breakdowns of my high school experience. Because while I was having the most fun I've ever had, tailgating every football game, leading the dance team, cheering on my classmates during senior nights, attending get-togethers and parties, collaborating with the LHS executive board, adventuring and being spontaneous with this more supportive, loving, and entertaining group of friends I could ever hope to have, I was also deeply lost, unmotivated, discouraged, and confused in all the moments in between. That dichotomy is still something I'm trying to wrap my head around, because a person in my position, with my roles, responsibilities, and labels at the school, I should have it figured out. Most of you probably assumed I did. This year should have been my post-COVID high school musical, but instead, I spent many days listless in bed, sleeping 16-hour nights, and still waking up tired, staring at assignments, unable to pick up my pencil, and making rash decisions the old me never would have made. I was a far cry from the ambitious, self-disciplined teenager I prided myself on being. And I'm sure at some point during these 4 years, you felt the same. One of our last assignments for my AP English language class was an altered book project that challenged us to write and reflect about the most formative and impactful moments of our lives, good and bad, ugly and triumphant. My peers and I were tasked with being vulnerable, and we rose to the occasion. Perusing through each book, reading about my classmates' hopes, dreams, fears, and insecurities while they read about mine, I never felt more connected to and a part of Lancer Nation. I mean, I always knew that many of my peers were going through the same struggles as me, but I didn't really know until I was reading about them through their own words. Even with our diversifying personality quirks and individual talents, we are the same. More than our shared year of graduation, shared identity as Lancers, shared cap and gown outfit, and the shared moment in time about to receive our diplomas, we are the same. In our fear of failure, in our hope for success, and in the limitless possibilities on the horizon. So I urge you to stay in touch with those that matter as we enter this new phase in our lives. Some of us are heading across the country to the West Coast or down south. Some of us are taking on the big city. Others are spending the next 4 years right here in New Hampshire, even though they swore up and down they would not. Movement is all a part of the life we live. We learn, we change, we grow, and eventually we grow apart. Wherever we end up, it will be a new environment with new challenges to undertake. The road will be rocky and often unpaved, so check in with one another, send that text, FaceTime them on a random afternoon. These simple gestures will be well received and reciprocated because we all need a helping hand when facing new unknowns. As the cliche goes, you never know what someone is going through, but it's absolutely true. When I was feeling my lowest, I could always count on an unprompted phone call from one of my friends to rouse me out of bed. Connection and a sense of community made all the difference. And as I conclude my valedictory address, I must say one last thank you to all of you, the Londonderry High School class of 2022, because there's truly no other group of students I can imagine graduating with. Within this arena of individuals sits the best athletes, best musicians, best artists, best performers, and best academicians I could ever wish to know. It has been an honor spending the last 13 years with you all. To quote Dickens once again, nothing that we do is done in vain. I believe with all my soul that we shall see triumph. You are all unstoppable, and I'm so excited to see your futures unfold. Thank you, and congratulations once again to the class of 2022.
It is now my pleasure to welcome to the stage your class president, Matthew Masachik.
Good evening, everyone. Before I dive into this speech, I would like to thank Mr. Parent, all the faculty and staff, and everyone that contributed to tonight's celebration. To the wonderful families in the crowd, we appreciate you all being here to support this class. I would also like to take this time to thank my fellow board members, Colby, Grady, Adam, Ella, Nicole, Audrey, Sarah, Derek, and Matt, for their continuous hard work they have put in alongside me over the last 4 years to ensure the best for this class. And to our advisors, Mrs. Bound and Ms. Correo, thank you for the commitment and sacrifice you have put in that comes with being a great advisor. We could not have had this graduation or any of these senior events without the help of this group, so thank you all again. Almost exactly 4 years ago, I sat right up in those bleachers at my sister's graduation. As the newly elected freshman class president, my 8th grade self watched the current senior class president's speech. And although I was captivated by his words, I sat in my seat thinking that there was no way I could ever stand on stage and deliver a speech to my class like he did. And I dreaded the day that I would have to stand on stage at graduation and do my speech. I'm sure many of my classmates also dreaded this day. The day where we walk across this stage, simultaneously walking away from our comfort zone, our childhood friends, and the teachers and staff that we have grown so close to. The day that marks the beginning of a new chapter in our lives. Yet, as I stand on this stage today, the nerves that I felt as an 8th grader have subsided. And now I see this time on stage as an opportunity, as a blessing. A chance to give one last goodbye to my peers. And as I gaze into the crowd, I don't see faces of worry or dismay. I see smiles of opportunity. And that smile of opportunity is what makes this class so special. When faced with a daunting task or challenge, we take it on the chin and we make it our own. I think back to the first day of school junior year. This year was incomparable to any previous year. Now, let me preface what I'm about to say by acknowledging that every person at Londonderry High School worked tirelessly to even allow us to have the chance to have in-school person that year, and we are so grateful for that. However, while it felt amazing to be back in the building, it felt like some of the spirit of Lancer Nation had deflated. We couldn't see half of our friends because they belonged to the other half of the alphabet, or they were at home doing online school. We couldn't support each other at sporting events or meet after school for extracurricular activities. It felt like we had little control as to what our time in high school would be like, and we were just following the mold given to us by our local officials. COVID took away formative years of our lives and completely changed the structure of the high school we all knew and loved. Entering our senior year, we changed the narrative. We exemplified the wise words of Martin Luther King Jr. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Instead of allowing the melancholy that came with COVID overtake our high school experience, we took control back into our own hands. And amongst the stresses that come with being a senior, we revived the spirit of Londonderry High School. We brought back the water gun battles of junior year. We packed the stands at our sporting events. The drama club put on a great showing of Freaky Friday. We hosted Mr. LHS for the first time since 2019. And even though its life was somewhat short-lived, we brought back the Lancer Spirit Stick, an old tradition from when my dad went to Londonderry High School in the 80s. And that's just to name a few highlights from this year. As was previously mentioned, a small group of students created a new tradition here at Londonderry High School, Lancer Speak Up Day. Lancer Speak Up Day is a mental health informational day that was heavily student-driven. Scarlett Lewis, the mother of the Sandy Hook shooting, of a victim of the Sandy Hook shooting, spoke at the event and delivered powerful words a day after the tragic shooting in Uvalde, Texas. The sole fact that she was able to be present after that day is admirable, and the lessons she gave were equally compelling. Now, as I explain this story, just try to stick with me because it seems a bit crazy at first, but the lesson provided is powerful nonetheless. Scarlett Lewis told us of an experiment with 2 corn plants in the same environment. One of the corn plants was belittled and bullied verbally. It was told it was too ugly, too green, and that it smelled bad. The other corn plant was supported verbally. It was told how beautiful it was. Long story short, the plant that was supported grew double the size of its counterpart, all because of the positive environment around it. And it sounds crazy when it comes to corn plants, but the same philosophy is true in our own lives. The positive environment here at LHS has allowed us to grow more than we could have ever imagined. And I think it's important to acknowledge some people around us that have allowed us to grow like that corn plant. Do not let fear or embarrassment deter you from being who you are and thanking the people that have made you the way that you are. Find 2 or 3 people tonight that you have never truly told how much they've impacted you, and do so tonight. Graduation is the last time that you may see some of these teachers or peers ever again, so take advantage while you can, because we never know when that moment may fade. With that said, I would like to acknowledge some people that I have always looked up to and have helped me get to this graduation. To start, I must acknowledge the 4 amazing assistant principals for their unwavering support over these last 4 atypical years. As stressed as we were as students due to the unknown, these 4 assistant principals were equally as stressed, while also guiding 300 students. That is strength. Thank you, Mrs. Sloper, Mr. Mazzoni, Ms. Sullivan, and Ms. Rich. And over the last 4 years, being class president has taught me that leading a group of people is far from easy. And making everyone happy is near impossible. I have a special appreciation for Mr. Parent, who continuously made tough decisions to keep our school unified through all the uncertainty. I admire his leadership, and I am grateful to have had an influential role model to look up to through my entire time here at Londonderry High School. On behalf of myself and the class of 2022, thank you, Mr. Parent, for helping make Londonderry High School the special place that it is. Lastly, of course, I want to thank my family and friends for their constant love and support through this incredible journey. I strongly encourage you all to take advantage of this opportunity to show your gratitude to the people that have gotten you to this graduation. Class of 2022, thank you. It has been a great pleasure to be the class president of such an incredible group of people. No matter where our paths may take us, remember where they all began. The hallways at 295 Mammoth Road. I wish you all the best, and congratulations, class of 2022. At this time, I would like to call up my fellow class officers to the stage. You can come right up.
Right up to the class gift is right there. On the bottom, in the middle, podium, underneath.
What?
Like this. Yep.
Go around.
Hello everyone. Our class gift will be helping to fund the cafeteria's new renovation, adding high top and round tables, all showcasing our Lancer pride. Thank you. Valid? You good? All right.
performing the climb, how they remember you. You'll always find your way back home and home. Please welcome Lauren Ponto, Colby Lynch, and Paige Boyon.
I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaking, but I gotta keep trying, gotta keep my head held high. There's always gonna be another mountain, I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle, sometimes we're gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there, ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb.
Sprayed my name on a water tower, carved it in an old cottonwood tree. Signed a bunch of high school yearbooks so they wouldn't forget about me. You're gonna leave a legacy no matter what you do. It ain't a question of if they will, it's how they remember you.
Did you stand or did you fall? Build a bridge or build a wall? Hide your love or give it all? What did you do? What did you do?
Did you make them laugh or make them cry?
How they remember
you?
How
did
they
you try?
remember
Live your
you?
dreams
How
or let them
they-
die?
how they
What did you
remember you?
choose?
What did you choose?
When it all comes down, it ain't if, it's how they remember you.
You can change your hair and you can change your clothes. You can change your mind, that's just the way it goes. You can say goodbye and you can say hello, but you'll always find your way back home. You can change your style, you can change your jeans. You can learn to fly and you can chase your dreams. You can laugh and cry, but everybody knows that you'll always find your way back home. Home.
Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. And although this wave is stringing us along, just know you're not alone, 'cause you've made this place your home.
You'll always find your way back home. Back home. Oh. Back home.
To present the senior class for the final time before his retirement, please welcome Superintendent of Schools, Scott LaLiberty.
You've been very patient, so let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my humble honor to present for graduation the Londonderry High School class of 2022.
Marshals, if you'll do the honors, please. For the presentation of diplomas, please welcome Dr. Kim Lindley Susi.
So now you can take turns, come right here.
Matthew Jordan Adamson. Emily Marie Allman. Anthony Michael Alanya. Carter Riley Alpuerto. Nicholas James Anastasi. Nathan Paul Anderson. Michael Rutgeras Anstey. Hayden Douglas Austin. Seth Ulla Awan. Derek Kyle Baharian. Brian Eric Barbaro. Erica Maeve Barnes. Michaela Lynn Bartholomew. Phoebe Emmeline Bartlett. Robin Michelle Batchelor. John Patrick Bauman. Riley Gage Bazidlo. Alyssa Paige Bolio. Ian Richard Becker. Jack Riley Byrne. Trevor Christian Betty. Jack Calvin Bickerstaff. Madison Teresa Bickford. Devin Louise Bizarro. McKenna Dorothy Blake. Cole Stephen Blanco. Brooke
Emily Bodkin. Riley Everett Bowles. Haley Jade Bondra. Rachel Marie Bonfin. Zachary Thomas Booth. Nicholas Riley Borovica. Emily Ann Bothwell. Laura Catherine Bowen. Paige Ann Boyan. Jonathan Paul Bristol. Sophia Elizabeth Brockney. Quinn Elise Brown. Tess Elizabeth Brown. Rebecca Hooper Buckley. Kyle Patrick Philip Burnell. Peter Roy Cafaro. Jason Patrick Kane. Ava Lorraine Campbell. Cameron Lee Campbell. Nathan James Carroll. Athena Paulette Haralambus. Paige Linda Marie Chartrand. Paris Pamela Chartrand. Ilana Rose Chasen. Olivia Ann Chow. Courtney Helen Clark. Grayson Matthew Connors. Ellie Marie Cook. Jillian Jordan Corbett. Andrew James Crafts. Isabel Alice Crane. Avery Marjorie Crimmins. Grady Edward Derone. Nathan Joseph DeFazio. Audrey Rose DeAngelis. Joshua William DeFranzo. Lacey Marie DeMayo. Justin Allen Dixon. Larissa Renee Dillon. Noelle Marie Dobe. Catherine Ann Doherty. Kaylee Mary Donahue. Abigail Jade Dorr. Ashlyn Paige Doucette. Lauren Elizabeth Doucette. Anthony Michael Driscoll. Christian Albert Driscoll. Nathan David Duddy. Ryan Edward Duddy. Connor Lee Dupuy. Cody Charles Eaton. Brady William Ellis. Sarah Elizabeth Ethier. Damian Bruno Fabiano. Nolan Christopher Farron. Thomas Michael Fay. Talia Rose Ferguson. Vanessa Isabella Figueroa. Elizabeth Eden Fish. Peter Lawrence Santino Fitzpatrick. Abigail Beth Foley. Idris Jaden Ford. Aiden Miguel Fortier. Bryn Catherine Foster. Gianna Lynn Fowler. Eric Brian Ganya. Jada Lynn Marie Gagnon. Anna Beth Gainey. Brandon Patrick Galan. John Henry Galligan. Donald Paul Garrity. Matthew Anthony Paul Giangrande. Owen Christopher Chingro. Robert Abilio Godin. Summer Janice Glazik. Amity Lynn Grande. Ethan Christopher Grandmont. Cameron James Grant. Brody Allen Gray. Ethan Wesley Green. Lindsay Ann Gregg. Catherine Irene Gregoire. James Scott Griffin. Kevin John Griffin. Laura Ruth Haas. Olivia Madison Hamill. Serena Hahn. Caitlin Elizabeth Hardy. Jacob Robert Harmon. Nicholas Scott Hartley. Retta Lee Hatton. Caitlin Marie Henderson. Roselle Kitongan Hernandez. Thomas Gordon Haywood. Nathan Sean Hilliard. Justin Daniels Hoggard. Jake Thomas Holdsworth. Cameron Michael Holmes. Holmes. Ashley Elizabeth Holt. Sorry, Ashley. Ella Elizabeth Houghton. Caleb George Howard. Connor Thomas Howe. Mackenzie Jacqueline Hoyt. Caitlin Elizabeth Huggins. Elizabeth Brianna Hurley. Allison Grace Iaconis. Emily Vivian Aiva. David Matthew Jarvis. Matthew Rowley Jasper. Emily Jean Jastrom. Nicholas Spencer J. Jacob George Jolly. Jillian Louise Jones. Joshua David Jones. Brendan William Julian. Reese Christopher Cammerman. Natalie Lee Ying Carlson. Aiden Patrick Keenan. Ryan Michael Keenan. Austin Tyler Kilgore. Caitlin Sophia Koza. Tyler Gerald Kraft. Bennett Michael Laverty. Jade Elizabeth LeBlanc. Madison Irene LeClaire. Savannah Georgette Leclerc. Caroline Grace Leone. Audrey Cordelia Lidster. Tommy Liu. Andrew Peter Locke. Luke Paul Langevin. McKenna Ashley Lord. Colby Joseph Lynch. Kayla Marie McLaren. Evan James Madigan. Noah Matthew Malcolm. Erin Renee Maloney. Satvik Nanam. Ashley Marie Manor. Jordan Michael Marion. Jack Alden Marshall. Celeste Diane Alana Martin. Sage Haven Matzker. Erin Sophia Mayo. Sophia Rose Mazalia. Jack Langton McCarthy. Grace Sandra McDonough. Maury Belzon McGurk. Spencer Conrad McIntyre. Aiden James McGivergan. Nolan Patrick McGivergan. Keelan Cole McManus. Ryan Sean McManus. Dylan Thomas Mensledge. Christopher Wissam Merheb. Cassidy Mitsuko Methot. Emmett George Miller. Samantha Marie Minton. Matthew William Mishajic. Michael Richard Montmany. Emily Jeanette Moores. Tyler William Moore. Jesse Sean Morin. Kevin Alejandro Mascat. Hannah Elizabeth Muller. Tyler Christopher Murray. Adriana Irene Nadeau. Callie Elizabeth Neese. Cole Jacob Nelson. Nathan Keith Nicholson. Corey Tuckerman Nolan. Drew Robert Nutter. Kathleen Judith O'Neill. Joseph James O'Neill. Devin Luis Ortiz. Madeline Louise O'Shaughnessy. Mara Jean O'Shaughnessy. Madison Rose Willette. Emily Ann Overhauser. Adam Michael Palmer. Matthew James Palmer. Skylar Rose Pelletier. Ricardo Joaquin Perez. Matthew Joseph Perrin. Justin Raymond Pike. Christian Leo Lewis Pinette. William Spencer Plant. Camden Mark Claude Poitras. Lauren Elizabeth Ponto. Thomas Lewis Popolowski Jr. Cody Joseph Prue. Colby Michael Ramshaw. Evian Marie Revelis. Justin Michael Rivard. Emily Ann Rivera. Zachary Joseph Rivet. Gavin Wendell Wallison. Michael Anthony Rositano. Vincente Alvaro Rossignol. Colby Michael Russell. Christopher Donald Ryan. Abigail Lauren Sekeller. Anthony Michael Salcido. Alyssa Jade Saley. Kelsey Elizabeth Sanborn. Brandon Jeffrey Savage. Liana Ryan Sawyer. Kayla Marie Say. Mark Myers Schofield. Nathan Patrick Seibert. Taylor Sarah Seiberth. Devin Sen. Caitlin May Elizabeth Shapley. Jack Ryan Shea. Brooke Marie Sylvia. Colby Kevin Smith. Andrew Joseph Sorrell. Cedric Orion Spalding. Reese Isabel St. Gelais. Isaac Philip Stombach. Jeffrey Lewis Stanley. Ryan Edward Stebbins. Caden Philip Stone. Nicole Marie Stone. Max Lucas Storman. Sam Michael Street. Dylan Robert Strong. Sasha Nicole Stilianos. Kylie Rose Toronto. Patrick David Tewksbury. Cody Gordon Thorpe. Gabrielle Ann Tringali. Jake Christopher Truesdale. Joshua Philip Truesdale. Sarah Catherine Teslis. Alexandra Haley Tufts. Olivia Alexandra Timowitz. Reagan Elizabeth Timowitz. Emma Lee Vachon. Alana Taylor Vargas. Joshua Thomas Vassar Jr. Adam Scott Verney. Matthew Cashel Villano. Logan Karatzis Vorius. Abigail Lee Wallace. Aiden Gregory Warren. Aiden Thomas Washington. Emmanuel Vincent Waters. Connor Ryan Wheeler. Liam Dermot White. Abigail Elizabeth Whitley. Adam David Wally. Michael Joseph Williams. Kendall Elizabeth Wilson. Olivia Ann Windish. Paige Witherby. Nicholas Julian Wolf. Caleb Michael Wood. Kaylee Jo Wood. Abigail Morgan Woodruff. Tara McCarthy Wright. Annabella Wu. Andrew Joseph Young.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for the soon-to-be graduates of the class of 2022. I'm now pleased to welcome up, for the changing of the tassels, your class advisors, Mrs. Kara Bound and Miss Anna Correo.
Congratulations, class of 2022. You did it. It's now time to officially become Londonderry alumni and move your tassels from right to left.